Happy, 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 happy birthday to ROCKA ROLLA. Judas Priest, first record. Very, very important, obviously, as a first record is in any band's history. This record is, in my opinion, way better than it is being considered by fans and by critics, if we even take them into consideration. I never really paid too much attention to them, but this record is very, very near and dear to my heart. I was a very big Priest fan, and I wanted to have everything from them, and it took me quite a good chunk of time until I finally laid my paws on this guy. It was actually the other sleeve that I first got, the one with the robot, which now I unfortunately don't have. And then with time, I was able to put my hand on a fairly early English print of the record with a gold label and all that. But that's really not so important. So what's the deal with this record musically? The first thing that jumps at you, or should, is the dual rhythm guitars. From the first moments of the record, they play together and they play tight and razor sharp, which is way beyond their experience. I don't know how much consciousness or planning went into that, but maybe it was the beginning of that insane razor sharp, I call it a double razor blade, like these little cassette razors that you use to shave, the double razor guitar playing of Ken and Glenn. And that's, I think, the great innovation, more than those solos. When they really started to trade solos within one solo, these short segments back and forth, which is also crazy and razor sharp. I think that started around Screaming for Vengeance, give or take. But the dual rhythm, that was there from the first moment with this guy. And I think that was the great innovation and the great sound of Priest, the double, heavier, fuller, bigger sound, especially in soloing. I think I told you this in the other video that I made for Motörhead and Judas Priest, that when you have one guitar player, think about Black Sabbath, that there's this huge riff, Into the Void, for example, or any of these big big Sabbath songs. There is this huge riff that fills up the entire space, the entire arena, wherever you're listening to, the entire concert hall. And then all of a sudden, Tony starts soloing, and then boom, it falls. Yeah, the bass is there, but it's not a full substitute. So here they kind of solve this problem. There's going to be two guitarists, and one is going to solo and the other one is going to play the rhythm. And when they're not soloing, they play the rhythm together in a crazy perfect unison, which really makes this band unique. Of course, later on other bands picked up this method. So happy birthday, released exactly 50 years ago today, September 6th, 1974. Ken on the guitars, Glenn on the guitars, Ian on the bass, Bob Halford, as it is written here, on vocals, and John Hinch on the drums. And actually, Rob even played harmonica here on a track or two. So, what do we have here? One for the Road. Very cool song. I love it. Simple, straightforward. Not an insane solo, but do-do-do-do-dum, bum, ba, bum, bum, ba-da-da. And that's gonna be ROCKA ROLLA. I love it. ROCKA ROLLA, same thing, very similar concept, just a short, straightforward rocker. Interesting, they brought ROCKA ROLLA back into their live set fairly recently on the second run of the Firepower tour. I want to see that. That was very good. Then they go into something that I'm not a huge fan of, this winter deep freeze and winter retreat. Winter and winter retreat are fairly tolerable, like softer ballads, and that's okay. Not great, not terrible. But then deep freeze, it sounds like it's just Ken going crazy on a synthesizer or on a guitar with a guitar synthesizer or something like that, or guitar through a synthesizer, just making noises idiotic in my opinion. He could have cut it out, or at least or at least shorten it. Cheater, banger, banger. That's a fast, straightforward precursor to what heavy metal is going to be. Never Satisfied takes us back a little bit to a little bit of a Black Sabbath mood, so kind of a doomy, slower tempo, infused with a little bit more metal and a little bit of prog-ish or psychedelic-ish ideas in there. Good vocal performance from Rob, and then Run of the Mill. Even if you hate this record, Run of the Mill is a must. And I am sure that the reason that they never brought this back live, because it's practically impossible to replicate live. It has a very, very beautiful and smooth bass line that kind of takes it from beginning to end with the melodies, with the tempo changes. So the bass line is very prominent and very important in the entire song. The melody is beautiful, the structure is beautiful, just a great song. I can never have enough of it. And then Dying to Meet You, it's another doomy gloomy kind of song, has two parts. The first one is that doomy gloomy, and then the second part is a fast, again a precursor to what metal was going to be later on. Somewhat similar to Cheater in the idea, not in the melody, but great. And then Caviar and Maths is unfortunately just a tiny melodic instrumental segment of a song that was shortened from 8 minutes to 2. It also had a vocal part, so it had an instrumental. I heard it. There are some bootlegs out there. They used to be traded. So all in all, it's a great record. It suffered from horrible production. They said in later interviews that they were taken for a ride, and that Roger Bain, who was famous for producing Black Sabbath, didn't really give a damn, and it was recorded fast, almost live, and you can hear that. And then later editions cleaned it up, so there were much cleaner editions. If you listen to this on an early edition, there is a hiss in the background, some noise, and some muffled and bad sounds. The drums don't sound that good, but in later editions they were able to clean it up. So anyway, happy birthday guys. Please bring back more songs from this record to the set. Please reunite with KK. I know it's a pipe dream at this point, but who knows? It's never late, and it ain't over until the fat lady sings. Rock and rolla. Happy birthday. Rock on.